Some lives begin in survival. Amina Yusuf was born in a place where hardship was not an event. It was a condition. It did not arrive suddenly. It did not shock anyone. It simply existed, woven into daily life, as familiar as dust on windowsills. And a sun that rose without apology. Her town lived at the edge of opportunity. Close enough to hear its promises, too far to touch them. Better places were spoken of like stories, not destinations. Mornings came early, not from ambition, but because survival demanded it. Prayer blended with movement. Another day asking more than it would give. Amina learned early that childhood does not last long. Where survival comes first, that we eat so everyone survives, not so one person is full. Remember this, Amina. Fairness keeps us standing. Do your work. Say nothing when effort gives nothing back. Dignity lives in endurance. School mattered, but helping at home mattered too. When the two collided, school waited. Still, Amina was bright. Everyone saw it. You understand quickly. You listen carefully. Do not lose this. But intelligence did not change circumstance. Books could inspire her, open windows to other lives, but they could not protect her from her own. Some days she went to school hungry, concentration fighting emptiness. Some days she stayed home. No transport money, no explanation. And some days, she walked anyway. Long distances, heavy heat, arriving tired, but present. She watched classmates disappear, pulled into work, marriage. Amina holding her book saying, "Education will save me." She did not imagine wealth. She did not imagine ease. She imagined choice, the power to decide, the freedom to say no. That belief became her anchor, holding her steady. In a life with little certainty, reality tested it. Progress moved slowly, but Amina held on, because in a world that demanded endurance, hope was the one thing. She refused to surrender to certain kinds of suffering. Suffering did not announce itself in Amina's life. It accumulated, layer by layer, day by day, until it became as familiar as breathing. There was no single moment she could point to and say, "This is where everything changed." Change arrived quietly, disguised as responsibility. When her father fell ill, the weight of the household shifted without warning. His strength faded, and with it, the small stability the family once knew. Father, weak, restrained. "I will rest today. Tomorrow, inshallah." Her mother began to age quickly, not in years, but in exhaustion. Lines formed not from time, but from worry. "Mother, quiet, tired. We must keep going. Allah will help us." Amina watched in silence. She understood something had been taken from all of them. Without discussion, she stepped forward. Amina, internal, steady. "If I do not carry this, no one will." She watched her peers move ahead. They finished school. They planned futures. Futures that felt distant, almost unreal. Pure offhand hopeful. After graduation, everything will change. They measured life in semesters and goals. Amina measured hers in days, calculating whether tomorrow would allow the same effort as today. There were moments she never spoke about. Moments of quiet humiliation. Help requested. Help denied. Presence unnoticed. Is patience wisdom? Or just another name for delay? Is endurance strength? Or the absence of choice? Faith became her refuge. Not loud faith, quiet faith, practiced in whispered prayers and private tears. Amina praying softly, "Ya Allah, you see what I carry. Do not let it be meaningless." She believed Allah saw what others did not. That nothing carried in silence was truly invisible. That endurance held meaning, even if delayed. By the time she finished secondary school, she had lost much of what people call innocence. Life stripped away ease and expectation, but in their place, she gained resilience. Uncelebrated it, real, and then, unexpectedly, opportunity appeared. It arrived without ceremony. It was spoken of as information, not opportunity. Amina listened without reacting. By then, hope had learned to protect itself. It no longer rushed forward. It waited. Weeks passed. Life continued in its familiar rhythm, obligation and restraint. Then the acceptance came. Quiet, unassuming. Amina, soft, disbelieving. This must be a mistake. For the first time, someone invested in her potential, without demanding immediate proof. without asking her. To justify her worth in advance, she moved to a larger city. It moved faster than anything she had known. It spoke louder. It demanded confidence. It offered little patience for hesitation. At first, everything felt possible. Skills came easily to her hands, just as knowledge once came easily to her mind. For the first time, she imagined a life, not shaped entirely by scarcity, a life where effort might finally become progress. Money began to appear, not abundance, but relief. Amina, quiet resolve. Send this home. Save the rest. She proves endurance is rewarded. But inspiration is fragile. When built on unstable ground, pressure accumulated. Expectations grew faster than support. The city demanded results, not adjustment. She felt the familiar weight return. The fear of losing what she had gained. The knowledge that one mistake could undo everything. She said nothing. She kept moving, because in lives like hers, opportunity does not always stay. Sometimes it tests you. Sometimes it waits to see how much you can carry before it slips away. The city did not wait for her to catch up. It moved according to its own rhythm. Indifferent, efficient, unforgiving, the cost of living rose quietly. No announcement. Support systems weakened just as silently. The program ended. With it disappeared structure. Direction faded. Routine was replaced by reality. Work became inconsistent. Promises dissolved without explanation. Employers changed their minds. Opportunities vanished as quickly as they appeared. Amina learned a difficult truth. Opportunity without protection can be temporary. Bills arrived faster than income. Rent, transport, food. Each demand stacked upon the next. Savings disappeared. Carefully built, quietly lost. Amina, internal, restrained. This is temporary. Stability will return. Pride prevented her from asking for help. She believed endurance was still required. By the time she considered reaching out, there was nothing left to protect, only consequences. When the job ended, there was no warning, no meeting, no explanation, just silence. One day she was employed. The next she was not. The city offered no sympathy, only continued demand. Returning home was not an option she could face. Home carried expectations she could not meet, and questions she could not answer. She stayed. She took work beneath her training. Long hours, poor pay, no security. She worked not to progress, but to endure. Gradually poverty returned. Not as before. Heavier. This time it came with memory, with comparison, with knowledge of what almost was. She had seen another life, touched possibility. Losing it hurt more than never knowing it at all. Nights became long. Thoughts repeated without resolution. Amina whispered, was the opportunity real? Or did it only show me what I could not hold? The question followed her everywhere. Into work, into sleep, into silence. And for the first time, endurance felt less like strength, and more like uncertainty. This time, suffering felt different. Before, poverty was her normal. The ground she stood on, the language she understood. There was no comparison, no memory of ease. Now, poverty felt like regression, like moving backward. After believing she had moved forward, it carried disappointment, not only from within, but from those who had watched her rise. Weren't you doing well? Their words were not always unkind, but they were heavy. Each question carried an assumption that progress once made should be permanent, that success once touched should not be lost. She learned that falling back into poverty carries a unique shame, not because suffering is greater, but because it is judged differently, seen as failure, not fate. Amina internalized that judgment. She replayed her choices endlessly. Amina, internal, strained. Where did I go wrong? She compared who she was to who she almost became. The weight of that comparison pressed harder than hunger ever had. Her faith did not disappear, but it changed. Amina, prayer quiet. Ya Allah, why show me the door? If I was never meant to enter, why let me touch stability, only to take it away? For a time, those questions frightened her. She worried that asking them meant weakness, but slowly she understood. Questioning was not losing faith, it was carrying it honestly. Gradually, clarity emerged. Painful, but freeing. Opportunity does not guarantee escape. Effort does not guarantee protection. Life does not always reward discipline in predictable ways. Sometimes it tests it, sometimes it reveals its limits. But she learned something else, something equally important. Failure does not erase growth. She was not the same girl she had been before the city. She carried skills, discipline, awareness. She had seen how systems worked and how they failed. This time, suffering did not define her. It refined her. Amina did not become the success story people expected. She did not break free completely. There was no dramatic rise, no clear moment where struggle gave way to comfort. She did not escape poverty in a way that could be easily explained or publicly celebrated. There were no before and after photographs, no simple narrative of triumph. Her life did not offer the kind of resolution people prefer. What she gained was quieter. She gained understanding of systems that reward some and exhaust others, of opportunities that appear generous but remain fragile, of structures that require protection as much as effort. She learned that progress is not only about movement forward, but about what is allowed to remain standing. She understood that dignity does not always follow opportunity, and that returning to poverty does not mean returning unchanged. She also understood herself. She recognized her limits without confusing them for failure. She learned the difference between endurance and self-erasure. Where she once pushed herself toward every promise, she now moved with caution. She no longer mistook possibility for security. She began again, this time more slowly, more deliberately, less driven by hope alone, and more guided by awareness. She chose stability over spectacle, sustainability over recognition. Her steps were smaller, but intentional. She measured progress, not by distance traveled, but by balance maintained. Her life was not easy. The pressures remained. The margins were still narrow. Some days felt heavy, in ways that never fully lifted. But her struggle was no longer confused. She knew what she was carrying, and why. She no longer believed that hardship meant she had failed to understand life correctly. Her life became honest. Honest about what effort can achieve. Honest about what it cannot. Honest about loss, about limits, and about the quiet strength required to continue without applause. She no longer waited to be rescued by opportunity. She built what she could, protected what she had, and accepted what could not be controlled. That acceptance was not surrender. It was clarity, and sometimes that is the heaviest lesson of all. Not that life will reward you, but that meaning can still be built in its absence. If you like true life story, subscribe to True African Stories.